Someone give me some batteries so I can fix the clock. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Duff.
Here.
Laybourne. Here. Minnelli.
Here.
Moretto. Here. Toronto.
Here.
Tupper.
Here.
Are you rolling back there? Are you good? Thanks. I don't have any correspondence. We'll go over this planning and zoning thing that I got after. Minutes for November 16th. I think, Mark, you weren't here, right?
No, I was here.
He just
Virtual.
Oh, that's right, you were virtual. Any questions, complaints, issues?
Motion to approve.
Second. Okay, the motion is second. Need a roll call? Roll call?
Laybourne.
Yes.
Minnelli.
Yes.
Moretto.
Yes.
Toronto.
Yes.
Tupper.
Yes.
Duff.
Yes.
All right, as you guys can see, we don't have Tim here tonight. Is he not coming? Is anyone aware of anything?
He has COVID. Oh.
Shocked.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, yeah.
Haven't heard that this week. Well, we hope for his speedy recovery. So, obviously, if we have questions, we'll have to just kind of work through this. We have 3 cases tonight. I'd like to hear a motion opened up the ZBA case 21-717. Dan, and if I apologize for anybody's names, I apologize up front. Dan Clacking? Don, excuse me. Didn't get my glasses fixed. 418 Wolverine Drive, Wolverine Lake, Michigan, 48390. Basis for the appeal, 1280.06, subsection C, section 4. Swimming pools. Ordinance requires that only in-ground pools are permitted in lakefront yards. Applicant proposes an above-ground spa between the house and water's edge. Can I hear a
Motion to open.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Mr. Clacking, if you could come up. There you go. Name, address, and tell us in detail what you are wanting to do, please, sir.
Don Clacking, 418 Wolverine Drive. So we had put in for a permit for a deck last spring, and the drawings included spa on it, and we had the spa delivered and the deck was kind of built around it. After we had the deck permitted, my deck builder's here too, he handled the permitting for us.
We'll just blame him. Go. Perfect.
That's my plan. After we had the deck permitted, somebody came out to inspect it, considered the spa an above-ground pool. We feel like we're within the rights of all the setbacks. We actually cut down the grade, so we're kind of below the natural grade how the spa was placed originally. Tim came, I don't know, it's Tim?
Yes.
Yeah, so Tim came out to the property, met Jamie and myself, and he tended to agree with the points we were making, that we cut the grade, and we were more than 20 feet away from the property line. I think we're about 70 or 80 feet from the water's edge.
Yep.
So that's where we're looking for the variance on.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Well,
Tim, go for it. Up there, just name, address, and then tell us. You don't necessarily have to go to the mic if you don't want to. Just name and address, whatever you'd like. We just need it for the record.
Hello, my name is Jamie Ruddy. I'm the owner of Cedar Around It.
Yep.
And when Tim came out, so we went through the initial helical pier inspection, then a frame inspection, and then a final deck inspection, and everything was fine. And then a couple days later, Don got a call that it wasn't fine, and there was an issue with the height of the jacuzzi above grade. And then I met Tim out there, and we went through it. He goes, "Oh, I'll see you at the ZBA. I still can't understand why we're here, because we're inside, we got a survey, we're inside, we're like 20 foot, 6 inches. We did everything to make everything work, so, and
I think one of the
Don's a friend of mine, and
Sure,
I'm embarrassed to have this even happen, that we're
No,
here.
it's not a reflection on you. I think one of the issue that it is, and Leanne, correct me if I'm wrong, the issue is that the village is looking at this spa technically as an above-ground pool.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
what we-
that's why you're here. It's not anything that you did, it's now terminology.
And, yeah, and then, so then I was confused about it not being, I thought if it was within 20, I don't really know, I don't understand the code. I thought if it was 20 feet,
Inside the property.
inside the property line, then we're all right, no matter what.
Right.
No, it's
So
the lake,
that's-
it's the lakefront
Yeah, it's the lake.
yard
issue.
is
Not
the
side?
issue.
No.
Nope.
No. it's-
So we're like 70 feet from the lake.
Yeah, it's just when that lake's in your backyard, everything just changes. And that's, again, not to say that we can't figure something out, not to say that we will, but that's the reason is when anything's a lakefront yard, if you were across the street,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, of course, I know.
But because
Line
it's
of
a
sight
lakefront,
and the whole thing. I
And
get
it's
it.
just, we deal with this a lot because it's a lakefront and there's just certain rules that they have. So, we'll try to figure something out.
We submitted pictures, and it's a beautiful job.
No, I saw it. It looks great.
And
It looks
it's, I
very
mean,
nice.
I get it, people popping ugly stuff up, but that wasn't the whole point about getting the landscape architect and from a 2-year process and planning for this.
Well, it's funny because Tim actually said how rarely that he sees a landscape architect project because we talked, this has come up in the past, so
I know.
we'll figure.
Any other questions, I'll sit
No,
down.
I think we're good for now. Thank you. Anybody else that you want to speak? No? No, okay. I'm going to open this up to the audience at this point. Would anybody speak on behalf of this, meaning that you are for this project? I see no one. Against?
I was going to say, I'd be for it. It sounds like it's,
If you'd like to speak for it, all I would need you to do is come up to the podium, state your name, state your address, and just state that you're for it, and that'd be great.
My name is Vivian Dabish. I'm at 1216 Lakeview Drive, Wolverine Lake, and I've seen the spa and thing. It's actually really beautiful when you see it off the lake. It looks like it's, really well done. So I'm all for it,
Thank you, ma'am.
especially if I can use it maybe.
That's something you guys can work out later. Yes, sir.
Kyle Jennings, 2067 South Commerce. I would say I would be for it just because it's describing that it's enclosed and it's not something that I understand having like a pool up and exposed would be something of an eyesore, but describing that it's bushes are covering it and the deck, I would say I'd be for it.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? I'm going to close to the public, open to the board for a conversation. So did you ever receive a final green sticker for everything? Final?
Yeah,
Final?
The helical peer report and the rough framing.
Yeah, you've gotten that. And then what about a final frame?
No, we're just waiting on the final inspection. I had to get ready to go here first.
Okay. But did you call somebody out for a final, and this is when this came up?
This came up, yes.
Okay.
It was, actually, we got the final inspection, and then, we got the final inspection, and then 3 days later, they changed their mind and pulled it back.
They would be Tim.
Tim?
So did they physically give you a green sticker at some point? Leave it on the property?
I mean, I'd have to go, it's probably,
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm just more curious than anything else.
he called me on the phone, he goes, look, we got, come back out here, let's figure this out. And then
Okay.
it was a couple days after the final inspection was,
And do you feel that you've changed anything off the original blueprint that you submitted?
oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
It's very detailed.
Okay. And yes, it's very
I have an engineer
detailed.
report too on it.
Okay. Yeah, that I don't need to see, because that's something we really don't get involved with. Okay. Questions from anybody?
I guess my question would be for Tim, like, why wasn't this flagged well ahead of 3 days after the
Well,
final walkthrough?
This would have been one that I wish he was here, but because of
Right,
COVID,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why I was saying, did he leave a green sticker?
Right.
Like, at what aspect?
Well, if
did-
you left a green sticker, you can't take a green sticker back.
Well, this is what I'm asking.
So, I mean,
He obviously didn't leave a green sticker. Or, well, we don't know. He may have left it, he may not have left it. We don't know.
a green sticker means the liability then becomes the village's. That's how construction works.
I know
So,
construction works. And that's why I want to see kind of how we got to today.
Kind of interested myself.
Well, that's probably something to bring up outside of this at this point, so.
Right, I mean, it is what it is at this point. I just would like to know how we got to today, because to me, this seems like if this was going to be an issue, this should have been flagged much further up the road than where we're at today. I mean, project's done.
Right.
So, anybody else? If not, we'll go over our checklist. You guys ready? All right, let me just fill this out. All right, I Agree or disagree that special or unique conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, which are not generally applicable to other land, structures, or buildings in the same district?
Disagree.
Kathy?
I disagree.
There's nothing unique about it.
I don't think there's anything unique about the property itself.
Everything is conforming.
The house itself is conforming. Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah, disagree. Disagree.
Okay. Agree or disagree that their interpretation of the provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant of the rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the same zoning terms, and that the variance is necessary? Kathy?
That one, I agree with that, because I've seen some other properties that have a spot between.
Yeah, so I called my neighbors each side within the last year. What do you think?
I gotta disagree, because I don't know what Tim wrote them actually up for. That's the big question. I don't know what he's saying is wrong.
That they have a,
Yeah, technically, they have
they have a pool.
They have a pool.
I understand
Under the-
that, but again, other people have pools too, or other people have
Right,
hot
but
tubs.
but we have that issue where.
I
it's-
realize that.
Just because one's not enforced doesn't mean that enforcing
I'm
on
well
one is.
aware of that. Again, it's just hard to understand exactly without him here to speak on it.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
why
it's-
I have to kind of disagree with
What
it.
I understand by just hearing bits and pieces is that this particular person filled out a permit. Most people on spas
Yeah, they don't.
don't.
Yep.
Whether they don't do it purposely, or they don't know, they don't think they
Yeah.
have to do it, they just don't do it,
Right.
and it never gets flagged.
Yeah.
Right.
So this person went through the whole process, sounds like they did it the right way, submitted plans, got to the end, didn't change anything off the plans, assuming, well, we don't have the building inspector here to say yes or no.
Yeah.
So now we're here saying there's a problem?
Well, that's my point. That's why.
Yeah, but we have to make a decision.
And to that point, which it doesn't necessarily affect this decision right here and now, because the ordinance is the way the ordinance is. But that is something that is going to be brought before
Yeah,
the planning, or it's been submitted to the village planner, and she just hasn't gotten back yet with
And no one's kicking
A
Tim
plan
because
to-
he's not here,
Oh, no,
it's
no.
just a
to
matter
get,
of...
because this is clearly an ongoing problem that's, so they do want to rectify that properly.
So do you want to agree or disagree?
I have to disagree with that one.
Okay, I agree. Mitch?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way as Duff in regards, yeah, I feel as if I need to disagree too.
Ladies?
Agree.
I agree.
So we're 4-2 on that aspect. Agree or disagree that special conditions and circumstances do not result in the action of the applicant, they are not self-created. Kathy?
Disagree.
Mark, I assume?
Disagree.
I think we'd all disagree on that one. And because obviously they put the spa in, they...
Yep.
Agree or disagree that the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance?
I agree.
Mark?
Sure, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Anybody disagree?
No.
Okay. And why do we agree? Because of other existing spas in the village?
And it's not an above-ground pool.
I'm sorry.
And, I'm sorry, and it's not an above-ground pool, despite the way the ordinance reads.
I don't feel it's an above-ground pool, but I think that's what planning is going to go through
Yeah.
and figure it out. Agree or disagree, the variance will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to general welfare? Do we all agree there?
Agree.
Agree or disagree, the spirit of the ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, substantial justice done? Do we all agree there?
Agree.
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve ZBA case 21-717. Basis for the appeal, swimming pool ordinance requires only in-ground pools are permitted in the lakefront yards. Applicant proposes the above-ground pool between the house and the water's edge. I would like to use numbers 2, 4, 5, and 6. We have a motion, do we have a second? Second. We have any discussion on the motion? Now take roll call, please.
Maletti.
Yes.
Durango.
Yes?
Pepper.
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Morado,
Yes.
Claiborne.
Yes.
I already voted.
Claiborne.
Yes.
Good? Everybody?
I think I got everybody.
You're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. All right. You guys good to keep moving on? Are we
Yep.
you're good? Okay.
Motion to open ZBA case 21-718, 1216 Lakeview. Basis for the appeal 128203, repairs or alterations, non-conforming structure. Applicant proposes to enlarge and add a second story to an existing non-conforming home.
A second.
All right, and I just want to add that the zoning ordinance does not permit an enlargement of an existing non-conforming house. Just so we understand something. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. and Mrs. Davish? Hello, how are you? Feel free to take the mic and...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I represent Mr. and Mrs. Davish, who sit to my left. My name is John Sobrario. I'm a Michigan attorney. I've been practicing approximately 40 years.
John, can we get your address, please, sir, for the record?
Pardon me, sir?
Can we get your address for the record, please?
Certainly. It's 1150 Atlantic, number 556, Milford, Michigan, 48381.
Thank you, sir.
P number is 38455.
Thank you.
As I understand it, ladies and gentlemen, before you are some drawings with respect to improvements to the property known as 1216 Lakeview, as proposed. Mr. and Mrs. Davish bought the home at that particular location in October of 2021. The home is relatively small. They have 2 young children, 2 young daughters, and their hope is to add about 600 square feet to this property just by simply building upward, putting a dormer on the unit, and that would simply be it. As to non-conforming property, and I think that was brought up, arguably the deck encroaches upon the lake when the deck was put on. There's another situation where the deck was permitted, inspected, and approved. And then there was a garage, apparently that encroaches upon the road by a number of inches. That apparently was permitted, approved, and has been there for a considerable period of time. The Davishes weren't aware of either of these things. But the project they're seeking to complete, it's about a $200,000 project, by the way, will do nothing but add to the neighborhood. The houses on both sides make their particular home look very small. They're both 2-story places. In fact, I understand the one to the easternmost side was put in relatively recently, and I think the gentleman put about $1.2 million into that home. The one on the other side, although not recently constructed, has quite an investment there as well. But in any event, I don't think the Davishes should be penalized for something that they acquired and then be simply left in limbo and told that they cannot improve their property and not put a dormer on so their 2 daughters can have a bedroom to sleep in. So how can we alleviate this? I guess we could rip the deck out, which seems silly for a few inches, a deck that was already approved. And I guess we could knock a portion of the garage down, which is cinder block and stone. That seems like a waste in and of itself there as well. So we're just simply asking for those plans to be approved and the project to be completed as delicately and as workmanlike fashion as possible so they can enjoy the company of their daughters in the new dormer. By the way, they're putting in an upstairs bathroom as well, so that would be the essence of their work. If you look at that home now, as we speak, the home simply looks out of place between those 2 monstrosities on both sides.
Can I answer that, Kathy?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Vivian Dabish, 1216 Lakeview Drive, owner of the property. We did buy the property in August. We took over September 1st, and it's always been a dream of mine to be on the lake. It took us about 15 years to find a house on the lake, and it was always Wolverine Lake. I fell in love with the lake when my daughter's teacher invited us over to be on the lake a while back, and said to my husband, if we ever get a place on the lake, it's going to be on Wolverine Lake. Yeah, he doesn't want to move. I do. I teach in the area. I teach in Walled Lake, and really just love the area, and wanted to make sure that my kids remained in Walled Lake schools, and hoping that we can build on so that we have room for all three of us. Right now, it's 1,400 square feet. One of my daughters is 17. I don't know if any of you have any children, but she takes about 1,400 square feet herself. So we're just hoping to build. We're not building out or anything. We're just going up to just give us a little bit more space, and hope that you guys will consider this for us.
Thank you.
Also, one more thing. Tim looked at his plan and everything. He said,
Mr. Davish,
Mr. Davish, Ala Davish,
and just your address, sir.
1216 Lakeview.
Thank you.
So I talked to Tim. He's very hard to get hold of because he works from Milford. He works part-time for you
Doesn't
guys.
have a
Probably he's
home
not
office.
here because, anyway, it took 3 months to get an idea to go in front of you people to get a variance to build up.
Yes.
All we need is variance so he can give me a permit.
Yes.
And he said it's hard to do anything without getting your approval.
You can't do anything without our approval.
Yeah, so all I need is your approval to build up. Thank you.
See what we can do. But Tim is not here for a health reason. That's the reason why Tim is not here. He normally attends these meetings. All right, open the public. Anybody speak on, for the, against, anybody? No? All right, I'm gonna close the public. Go.
We've actually known the Davishes for a while.
Don, I just need to
Didn't,
get the same-
Don Clacking, 418 Wolverine
Thank
Drive.
you.
We didn't know they were moving on the lake. We were pleasantly surprised. I'd just say I trust that they'll do a nice job, and I think it'll improve the appearance of the lake.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to close to the public, open to the board. So if I understand this correctly, because we don't have any building plans. Does anybody have building plans?
No.
This one page is all.
Okay, this is what we got.
Well, the lady in the front desk said,
Okay.
all they need is that to know, we're already now complying with the variance.
No, I understand, but normally they would give us like a building plan to show what you're doing, but it's okay that you don't have it. I just wondered if anybody else, maybe my packet just didn't get it. So
You're
that
just going to have to be a little more descriptive about what you want to do, because we don't have any
Two-bedroom
pictures.
and a bath upstairs.
So you're adding 2 bedrooms, you're adding a bathroom, you're not making the house longer, wider, it's just taller.
Completely above
Okay.
where it is right now. We're not going out at all.
Okay, you're adding a bathroom, you're on sewer over there, correct? Or
Yes,
you
the
on
city, sir.
City sewer, so you don't have to worry about septic, so you're fine there. So, it's already a non-conforming house. They're not going bigger, they're not going wider, they're just going taller. And they are, I'm sure we've all been drove by it, they are next to 2 very large homes. They are a smaller version of those homes. Just so everybody understands, because obviously none of us got building plans, which we normally would
Right.
get. So it looks like, again, without Tim being here, it looks like, based on what I can see, I think they are correct. I think part of the non-conforming is how close it is to the road, and how the little bit of the deck in the back. Because it looks like their side offsets are fine. Let me take that back. I think maybe one of their offsets by the garage might be a little bit off.
It's the original house, like the...
Everything is center block.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, okay.
it's just how it was
They
built
must
back
have
in the
changed
day.
the laws or something after.
Yeah, who
Because,
knows?
yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't done anything to, so, and we're not going over the deck, so it's not going over,
Or
like,
the garage, we're not going over.
or the garage, so
No.
it's really not going over any of the non-conforming
Parts.
spots.
Is this part the deck?
He knows that stuff.
Yeah, the back part's the deck.
Yeah,
The
this is
people before us-
This part right here is,
The people before us got
this is on the
deck
floor.
permitted, had
That's a
open
deck,
in
but it's
and
on the
everything.
Oh, okay.
I think they
But
said
this is-
before
this
they
is
even
already-
got the
this is
permit
fine.
for that. like,
This
4 or 5 years
is
ago.
the only area that...
This
you
part
go
right here,
out.
a foot and something right here.
Okay, that's the only
Yeah, that's
corner
what
that
Tim
you're
said,
going
this
up.
right here is just, but he approved it when they took the original deck and put this.
Yeah, the deck never came in front of us.
Tim said that was a mistake from the, like, his part, when we talked to him, because it was the people before us. It's permitted and certificate of occupancy and
It's green
everything.
sticker, it's in the city.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying that the deck's not legal, it's just, they would normally put on here that if somebody came in front of us before,
They said
even
it
if
was
they could
an
go back 20 or 30 years.
I believe it was an oversight because they put in the deck just a few years ago.
No, there was an older deck, was not,
Is that what it was?
yeah, the foundation, same post, it's the same post. They just changed the
Okay.
compass, whatever they call it.
Composite deck, over wood deck, okay.
What's the height of your plans for the new part? The overall
I
height?
have no idea, they're all in the plans. But it's two-story, it's not gonna be higher than either side.
Okay.
It's not going to be a monstrosity or anything.
Well,
It's
there's
just
a, there's a limit, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for that kind of stuff, that will fall on Tim. If there's a height limit, obviously, they would have to come back in front of us. Part of an approval process would be is they would have to fall within all the other guidelines.
This is just to actually
This is just
do
to
it.
say, you have a non-conforming house,
Right.
Start
and
building.
we will,
Allow
allow
you to
something
make
to be built
changes.
on it.
Gotcha.
And then whatever it is, if it doesn't fit at that point, what our codes are, then they have to come back in front of us for something
Understood.
else.
Understood.
And the motion would be for
The allowance of it,
to
not...
approve the non-conforming use on the footprint of what exists.
Right.
So that
But-
would take care of, for your purposes of making sure it's within, and then, like you said, then it would be up to Tim and further approvals to make sure that it meets.
Right,
any height.
but if they decide to do something that doesn't conform to what our height restrictions would be, for example,
Mm-hmm.
then they would have to come back in front of us at that point, even though they have an approval.
Correct.
They would have to come back in front of us for the
Yeah.
height issue, not to build.
It's not carte blanche, it's just
Correct.
approval to move
Yes,
forward. Got
yes.
it.
This is just,
Well, but, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
we're actually closed, so I'll let you talk, just let us kind of go through our process. Just so everybody understands, it's just this, we're going to allow them to do whatever they've got upstairs, because assuming Tim has read through everything. And if
Within
it,
the existing envelope. That's
Correct.
where
In
it's
the
come.
footprint that is
Within the
currently
footprint.
established
Right.
in the building.
Right.
yeah.
Building requirements.
And then per whatever set of plans that have been submitted to the village, whatever those are, which I guess I'll have to make a call
Which, of
tomorrow.
course, he would approve, or not. I mean, that's got to
That's
go
on
through the
him.
whole process.
And if he doesn't approve it, then we start this process over based on those plans, not based on allowing them to actually do something.
Correct.
So, square, are we good? Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, the guy next to me on the east, David.
Yes.
His house is raised, actually, his driveway is 4 feet higher than me.
Okay.
So everything that he's got is raised.
It will be shorter than
Will be shorter than
a lot shorter.
Yeah, and that's something you'll have to deal with Tim. And if there's an issue,
She's concerned about the height. The height.
no, we're not so much concerned about the height. It's just, she had a question, and we want to make sure that everybody is understanding what we're doing. Because again, normally we would have a set of blueprints, and we don't know why we don't. But that's okay. We can still make a decision based on not having those blueprints. If there's an issue down the road with construction, and Tim says, no, this is not conforming based on our rules and laws, we're going to say you can build, but it may not be a height, you may have a height issue.
Right.
Then we got to start this process again.
No problem.
You have to work with Tim on that stuff.
No problem.
And if it comes back to us, then we'll have to deal with it at that point.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Questions for anybody? If not, we'll go through our checklist. Fine. One second. Agree or disagree that special or unique conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, and which are not generally applicable to the other lands, structures, or buildings in the same district. Kathy?
I agree, because of the...
Non-conforming?
The past non-conforming.
That would be mine as well. Does anybody not agree with that statement? So am I safe to say we could put 6 agree because it's a non-conforming structure?
Yes.
You good with that? Agree or disagree, the literal interpretation of the provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the same zoning terms, and the variance is the minimum necessary. Kathy?
I agree.
Does everybody agree there? Does anybody
I
disagree?
disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree.
You disagree, okay. For the ones who agree, I'm assuming we're using non-conforming, correct?
Correct.
For the one who disagreed, can you explain why?
Because it's
Or,
non-conforming.
did you say
Right.
2?
Two
You disagree as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's non-conforming, so how can you...
Right.
Agree or disagree, with special condition, the circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, they are not self-created. Well, they're creating the issue because they want to build something.
Right.
But Kathy, what
But
are your
the
thoughts?
special conditions are the fact that it already has a non-conforming.
Yeah, basically, they can't do anything to this house.
If it wasn't already non-conforming, they wouldn't have an issue with it, probably.
Correct.
Right?
But they bought a non-conforming
Right.
structure.
Right.
So that's, again, goes with the house.
Right.
Mitch, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, because, they purchased the home, and that's, something...
You agree that they're, well, hold on.
Let's disagree then.
Or disagree, my mistake.
All right.
Correct, disagree.
Ladies?
Okay, just,
Disagree would mean that you are thinking that they created the problem.
disagree.
Aaron?
Same, disagree.
And I do as well. Because they want to add on to a non-conforming structure. They don't have to add on to a non-conforming structure.
They write that question as a double negative. It's just-
Yeah. I did not write it.
got me.
Agree or disagree, the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance. Kathy?
I agree.
Mark?
Disagree on that one.
Mitch?
Come back to me here in a minute.
Okay, ladies?
I agree.
Agree.
I will also agree.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Because the property is non-conforming. Number 5, the variance will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to general welfare. I think we all can agree to that. 6, agree or disagree, the spirit of this ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, and substantial justice done. We all agree there?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ZBA case -21-718.
Second?
Any conversation on the motion? But I do want to add a friendly in there, that we do not have a set of blueprints. We have no idea what they're building.
Right.
The building inspector must approve the blueprints to the satisfaction of our current ordinances. And if there is an issue with those blueprints, the applicant must come back in front of us for any other zoning approvals.
And I would also condition the approval based on the staying within the footprint of the existing structure.
I will agree with that as well.
No expansion other than vertical.
I agree. Is everybody okay with that?
Agree?
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Rondo?
Yes?
Tupper?
Yes.
Duff?
Yes.
Moretto?
Yes.
Claiborne?
Yes.
Minneletti?
Yes.
And Craig, just for the record,
Yes, ma'am.
can you add in the sections
Oh, I'm sorry.
based upon?
Sections 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So you have an approval. I don't know the status of Tim coming into the office. I'm sure the ladies upstairs would probably have more information. Feel free to call them tomorrow. And good luck.
We've got all our blueprints and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have more information than we do in regards to the status of Tim. No problem. You guys have a great day. Thank you.
More often in not for variances.
At the restaurant.
At the party. At the tiki night, I think is what they call it.
We'll do the same?
All right. So last case, motion to open up ZBA case 21-719, Kyle Jennings, 2067 South Commerce, Wolverine Lake. Basis for the appeal, 1280.03 subsection C, section 1, section 1A, accessory building general regulations, accessory structure appearance shall be in harmony with the principal building. Applicant proposes a detached garage taller than the existing home. Mr. Jennings?
Did you make a motion?
Oh, motion to open?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Jennings? It's getting late in the day.
I can understand that.
6 o'clock is early.
Kyle Jennings, 2067 South Commerce. So a tree fell on my house with one of those storms in July, and finally getting things sorted out with the insurance company. It seems like everyone's backed up. So what I want to do is I want to keep all the existing walls, and I want to actually build onto the walls just a foot because of so my old garage door was one of those old ones that opened like this. It was one solid door. And the trusses didn't interfere with it, just the anatomy of the door. And then I installed one of the more modern doors and...
A roll-up.
Roll-up, yes. Thank you. And I can't install a garage door opener with the trusses because of the height of the existing walls. You just can't fit it without ruining the integrity of the trusses themselves without removing them. So I would like to raise my garage, not significantly, just moderately. It is going to be over the existing height of the house. However, it is, I hope that you have what I wrote up the plans. It's only, I believe, about 3 feet taller. And then also I wanted to use the type of trusses where you can allow like a small amount of storage in there. And then I did find a home recently that is on Elm Street. But I did take a picture of that has an existing garage that is taller than the house. So I did see that they do have a detached garage that is taller. So I was hoping that since it obviously has been approved in the village prior, that this would be something that could be approved here as well.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's open to the audience. Want to speak on behalf of the applicant? Come on up, speak your name and your address, and we'll go against. We'll close to the public, open to the board. All right, so I've got 4 feet 6 inches is the difference between your existing garage and your new garage. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. Because you said a couple feet.
Yeah, I said I believe it's you. I didn't remember the exact amount.
But that is correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going about 40% more. Okay.
Oh, may I add something else?
Of course.
Do you want me to go to the mic?
No.
Okay. The other issue is I've had issues with ice damming, and I did want to increase the slope of my garage, just because it's like a huge 12, I believe, slope, and technically, I don't know if that's even coded, or, yeah, so I did
Not now.
Right. I did want to increase the slope to not have ice dams build up.
All right, so when you say the height of your new garage is 14.6, is that the peak or is that the front?
Peak.
Okay.
Because the house is shorter, and I measured both peaks.
Okay. Questions?
And this is an aesthetic thing?
I think it's probably a combo meal, aesthetic, but it sounds like potentially the reason why he's saying that he wants to do this is to fit a more modern roll-up garage with an opener. Now, I am not a garage door expert and I'm not a building inspector, so I don't know if there's an alternative thing he could do. So we can only go by the information that's provided us.
Okay.
There are definitely garages in the village that are taller than existing homes. I don't know the background of any of these properties, but I mean, they're definitely within the village, that's for sure.
And if I'm correct, if there's a small amount of space between his detached garage, or his accessory building, as it's called, detached garage, and his house, if they were attached, this would not be an issue, is that correct? the differing heights of the garage and the house? Is that- there's
I
an
would say
ordinance?
you're probably accurate in that statement. But
Because
I-
it would be considered the same building.
Same building, so it's just the fact that there's a small
fact that there's
separation between the two.
And there's no really way to attach it.
That's right.
I mean, you're talking taking walls down. And
No, I understand, but I mean, it's just, it's,
correct. If it was basically one envelope, then this wouldn't be, this part of it would not be here. Now, he may not build this the same way, because, he got 10 feet, 14 feet, it wouldn't make sense. But, that being said, and also part of the issue that he had as well is, he had, it sounds like a tree issue, a green issue
Yeah,
that
tree
took
issue.
out his garage, took out
An
his
ice
the
issue.
roof. So, ice issue withstanding, because again, there are ways to fix ice damage.
Yeah.
And it is a detached structure, but it was damaged by a storm. But it also can be rebuilt in its same form.
that's right.
But without the building inspector here, I do have a couple questions for him, but unfortunately, he's not here. So, again, we have to make the best decision based on the information that we have. Or if we can't,
I'd like to ask a question of Kyle.
of course you can.
Kyle, hi, I'm Bonnie. So one of the things with variances is, are you asking for sort of the minimum that you need to get it done? So is your request for the variance what you need to fit the garage door and solve some of your other problems? Or is there additional height that you've put in for nice-to-haves?
Well, I would like, the type of trusses I did put on there are storage trusses. So, without having a basement, it would be nice to just have the extra storage. So that was part of my decision-making. To have the storage trusses, being able to have a garage door opener, and then also the higher slope.
The slope is probably the biggest reason why he's got to go to 14.6. Or a 612, I should say. You can't do a 212 roof anymore. I don't even think Tim would approve that on new plans. Again, I can double check it with him, but it's just, you know what I mean?
I absolutely do.
So it's just, you're going to have issues. So this 212, 612, this picture actually is a really good thing of what that roof's going to probably look like, so. Kathy, any questions?
No.
Okay, if you guys have no other questions, and
I'm sorry.
No,
But
yeah,
just
apologize.
The ordinance says it has to be harmonious with the existing structure. It doesn't say it has to be absolutely identical to it. I mean, so I guess part of this interpretation of how close to
what is
identical is
the
harmonious.
interpretation of harmony is?
Yeah, exactly. Well, seriously,
You're 100% correct. And that's, again, it's one of these that is probably an older ordinance that is a little vague. Matter of fact, I've been on this board a very long time. I have never had this before. So, I've been on this board 20 years. I've never had this type of scenario with two different roof
I
lines.
think the last case that came before us was a height issue. It was actually over what our ordinance said, the height issue.
Yeah, no, I'm saying between a house and a garage.
I know.
Yeah,
I've never seen this one come up either.
yeah, I've never, that's why when I read it.
Usually they want to build a.
When we got the packet, I was like.
Right.
A storage building, basically.
And I'm sure if that was the case,
Sure.
that would get flagged as well, right? So,
Yeah, if it's a height issue, which I don't think 14.6 is a height issue, so.
And there's no question about if they expand the garage a foot, is it going to be a foot on each side, so it's dimension?
I'm sorry, just up.
It's up, it's not out.
At all.
Basically, this is the envelope, and here's the roof. His new roof's going to be this high.
Yeah, okay.
So that's
But
it.
it said add 1 foot to the walls all the way around, so that's what he
That's to go
needs
up, that's to put the
Okay.
trusses up, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's to make it taller for the trusses. Yeah, you're not going out, you're not, okay.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm.
And one of his hardships is because he doesn't have a basement, non-basement home, excuse you, don't give us all COVID. He lacks storage, and this would help him. Is it a walk-up? Is it a pull-down ladder you have in there, or is it just a ladder?
Right now, it's nothing.
What would it be when it's done?
Would it be?
Yeah.
It would probably would pull down ladder.
Okay, so it gives him the access of having a little bit of storage, which is nice. Okay, if nobody has any other questions, we'll go through the Okay. Agree or disagree, special or unique conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, which are not generally applicable to other land, structures, or buildings in the same district?
I disagree.
Yeah, I would disagree, because a lot of those, a lot of those roofs over there are about the same.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Same reason.
Yeah,
I would say
disagree.
disagree.
Agree or disagree that the interpretation of the provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district on the same zoning terms, and that the variance is minimum necessary? Kathy?
I agree.
Mark? Does anybody disagree there?
And why?
That's the question.
Because there's other properties that have a garage that isn't exactly matching to the house, in terms of height, but it looks like the siding is going to be close to what's currently there, so it's
I would
not
also,
going to be a big
I would
change.
also add that the pitch of the current roof, or the roof that's being replaced, is no longer current code. They've changed it to address ice damming and other things.
So fixing current roof code issues.
Which I'm actually kind of surprised that's not within our ordinance, that it has to be brought up to current code.
Yep, I'm sure planning's looking at that too. Agree or disagree, the special condition and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, they are not self-created. Well, he didn't create the damaged roof, but he is creating the issue of wanting to make it a little bit taller. So, Kathy, what are your thoughts?
I say I disagree.
Does anybody agree?
I actually have to agree with it, because again, act of God, ripped the roof off, the roof is damaged, he has to fix the roof.
And he's bringing it up to current code.
up to current code.
I would agree with that.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree too.
Agree.
All right, I'll change.
No pressure.
You brought up a good point
Yeah.
about the roof being damaged by an act of God.
Agree or disagree, the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance?
Agreed.
I agree.
Yep, agree.
Agree, because it brings it up to more current code?
Yep.
And it's still harmonious with the current.
Yeah, it just depends your definition of harmonious.
I'm just feeling
Agree or
really
disagree, the
harmonious
variance will not be
today.
injurious to the neighborhood, detrimental to general welfare, I think we all agree to that?
Agreed.
Yep.
I would agree.
And number 6, agree or disagree, the spirit of this ordinance should be observed, public safety secure, and substantial justice done. We all agree there?
Agree.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve ZBA case 21-719, what is it, 1280.3.
No, 1280.03, subsection C, section 1.
Second?
Hold on. Let's
Based
get a
on-
little more. All of them.
Yeah, no, except for one.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, yeah, hence all. Height of the existing new garage peak cannot exceed 14 feet 6 inches per plan. Garage not to be widened in any way. Anything else anybody can think of? That covers
that's
our
good.
bases,
Yeah,
not to
good.
interrupt your
I like that.
motion. So we have a motion, we have a second, we have a friendly. Is everybody okay with all of that? All right, let's roll call, please.
Morano,
Yes?
Tupper,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Morano. Yes. Layborn.
Yes.
Maloney.
Yes, you're good. See the girls there too, they'll have building permits for you, and go from there. All right, thank you all.
We haven't had a fully, yes.
All right, take care.
Wow.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Everybody,
Yeah, wow, we 3 for 3, look at us. Actually, production.
That went pretty quick too. Seemed pretty quick.
I have, you're welcome, have a good day, or good evening. I have a pamphlet here about more workshops and things. I haven't had a chance to look at it. If you guys are interested, I'll have them mail you one. I just got, this was sent to me at this address from the Michigan Association of Planning. So I'll read through it, maybe we'll talk about it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sound all right? Mark, anything you want to talk about?
We are still in search of a treasurer.
Just let Conley stay, he loves this job. What else is he gonna do?
You know what, when it becomes warm out, that man's gone. He's going golfing.
Okay, so let them go golfing. Keep the cell phone up.
Anyways, so initially we looked in terms of perhaps outsourcing, but that is going to cost us a small fortune. So we are putting another ad out there and seeing if we can get somebody else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As Mitchell talked about earlier, we were awarded a matching grant for the parks. So that's exciting. Not 100% sure when we're going to actually get that money.
That was what, like $100,000?
Yeah.
How much?
We have to submit for reimbursement, so.
Yeah, it's a reimbursement thing, but we technically have not actually got it yet.
Oh.
It has not been actually signed over to us. The governor and the legislature actually has to sign it.
Oh.
That has not been done yet. The DNR has granted it, but they
One more
report to
approval?
other people, so.
Will this just be for Clara Mill? Or is it just
It's
with
parks.
whatever
Yeah,
we see fit?
parks.
Is it 800?
100.
100, okay.
100,000 matching. So we put up 100, they put up 100.
Well, we should be able to do some nice stuff.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. That stuff's very expensive. What else?
There's some stuff in Clara Mill that needs addressing.
Yep.
The road thing.
Yes, so the Relief Act, they opened up, Treasury basically opened up the doors in terms of saying we could use the money for whatever. So that can open it up for road improvement, several other things.
All the money that all these cities have left over
Yep.
from the COVID stuff, now we can designate it to other places.
Yep.
Yeah, they were actually talking, that's actually been a lot of talk
Yep.
on media outlets
So-
lately.
I was talking about e-commerce.
Yes, and Commerce is actually opening up another entrance across from the Village Hall
Yeah.
for, where is it, Glen?
Hickory Glen
Hickory
Park
Glen.
for like the,
Yep.
is it the, so I guess it's not even just the baseball or the football, it's actually Commerce Township.
Yeah, it's
that's
Commerce Township.
Spending the money to do
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yep.
Alleviate some traffic? Because that place is nuts on the weekends.
Yes, alleviate traffic, and from what they were saying, their arborist found that the majority of the trees that are natural occurring trees over there are being killed by the people running over the root system, and then the other trees that have taken over are actually invasive, so they're going to clear all that out, put pads and some other stuff.
Yeah, that place on the weekends with they have stuff over there, it's nuts.
Yep.
But hey, that's great, good for the kids.
So that's pretty much it.
All right, anybody else want to go over anything? Everybody good? All right, everybody stay healthy. So we have a meeting on the 16th, maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll get a packet. I'll see the girls, I gotta pay a water bill tomorrow. I'll have them send an email out saying, do we have some or do we not? They may not know because Tim is off, so hopefully Tim has a speedy recovery.
Yep.
And that's it. So, meeting adjourned.